Willie Mack uploaded an Idubbbz unironically evil featuring Hasan and Denims. Now, I mainly wanted to watch this because I think it's going to categorize all of the chaos that has been going on that I've covered from beginning to end, but it'll be nice to have it in one really long video for all of everybody to see my viewing pleasure. Now, I have had my critiques of Willie Mack show in the past. I've had my little shots that I've thrown in, but I do think Willie Mack does a good job in his coverage. I've always thought he does a really good job in his coverage. But let's get right into it. Let's flop it out, baby.
Attacking you guys, but they're not me. They're not Anissa. It's not Hasan.
I should go to the old city so I can get my fucking shit pushed in by some of the most inbred fundamentalist hicks.
It's not all of these other creators that you're attacking.
Bro, they're literally making up stories to justify falsely calling CPS.
The house is just like covered in dog, and he's
dude. Not only are they making up videos, right? I'm gonna add a little context. I'm sure Willie will get into this, but we just watched it a second ago. That's why I'm bringing it up. Is the fact that on the Hasan Bad Empanada debate, guys, it was a debate. It was really a debate. We really challenge of the minds, more like two people with rocks for brains smashed their head against each other and then made out. He like doubles down. He's like, ask well, I don't even know what his fucking accent is, but ask me about the CPS, Ethan. Ethan, ask me about CPS. Did I call CPS on your children, Ethan? Did I, Ethan? The dude's a schizo, bro. Well, ask me about the schools outside the house, Ethan.
He has kids, and his kids like crawl into the dog. God forbid. I don't know what they do with it. They contracted a...
Oh, by the way, before I know I'm pausing again, which everybody gets a little bit annoyed when I do this, but I want to say that the first time I saw this, I covered this like a long time ago, this actual video, and I actually looked up on stream why Ethan's client's housemaid was suing them, and not a single thing talks about the working conditions. It's nothing about that. There is it looks like it was a lot of it's about wrongful termination, and then there's a bunch of stuff that is thrown in about race that is kind of tacked on as an addition to wrongful termination. And it just seems like she got wrongfully terminated. Her lawyer said, look, we can tack all this other shit on. She said, okay. Now this is assumptions. I don't want to slander anybody, but if I was suing somebody and I got fired wrongfully, and I was like, fuck these guys, and they had said, wait, aren't you Cherokee? I would have been like, fuck, got him, suing him for that too, fuck these guys. I would be lumping shit on too, but like nothing was about like his kids eating shit. There wasn't anything in that case about his kids eating shit. This is all fucking bullshit. This is bullshit. That's why this guy should not be taken seriously, because these motherfuckers lie. They be lying.
Parasite that I had previously never heard of in my life, called Giardia, from the dog that is all over his house.
So this is not a joking matter, by the way. It can be very severe and deadly to small children. I mean, much like many other illnesses, it's very, very, very dangerous when infants get the same sicknesses that adults get. It makes sense why he doesn't care about Palestinian children when he is neglecting his own. How is this happening? How is this happening? How is this happening?
Dude, that was like, I was making all those faces, and I know somebody's gonna be like, are you trying to lick her face? No, dude, I would probably, if I licked her face, it would probably fucking catch my tongue on fire because of the massive amounts of fucking animals that had to die to make her makeup. But the real thing that I was doing is every time, oh, dude, it's like one of those fucking screaming goats.
Miami a fucking river. Her chat like saying, oh, we're gonna call CPS, oh, someone should call CPS, is not even remotely like that. In fact, a CPS call is warranted.
Where they're calling CPS, Child Protective Services, to come to our house and break up our family.
You're not the biggest victim on the internet, Ethan.
Nah, apparently it's these guys.
Be mean to them. If they feel...
Oh, he is! He's just gonna have this in there! Holy shit, dude! If I know this was gonna be in the Willie Mack show video, I wouldn't have even fucking watched the clip before. This is glorious! Dude, giant Willie Mack W. Look at fucking Noah Sampson's douchebag ass down at the bottom with his stupid little cat ears, thinking he matters, like anybody actually remotely cares about him. He's like the schmegma on fucking Hasan's cock, bro.
If they feel bad, if they feel harassed, honestly, great.
Honestly, great. If they feel like their life is in jeopardy and their kids aren't safe, that's activism, guys. The resistance isn't perfect.
fuck them. Each and every one of them. We need to be mean to these guys. We need to be assholes. They deserve it.
I love that Idubbbz is crying because him and his wife got called a cuck, but then he crazy makes Ethan for people role-playing killing his wife.
Wait, everyone! Ela Klein's in the house. Guys, she was just a secretary. Ela Klein.
Take those prisoners. Take those IDF genocidal soldiers. Where do they keep the secretary?
Oh god, this is so fucked up, bro. This is so gross, dude. Like from one perspective, it's like I get the memes or whatever, bro. But to act like that Ethan Klein's the unhinged one, because remember, every time they talk about Ethan Klein, they call him unhinged, they call him crazy, they say he's crashing out. But this is the shit that they're doing, bro. The guy who fucking signal boosted and like created this whole thing that caused CPS to go to their house is joking about sending skulls to their house, is being the one who sent the skulls, I mean. And then he has he's playing a game where he's hunting down the Israeli secretaries because he's basically trying to hunt down Ethan Klein's wife. These guys are fucking awful. Like, I'm sorry, dude. I don't give a shit what your cause is. You're not talking about that cause. You're just fucking trying to be fucking like internet edgy guys, just trying to fight little fucking drama wars. And while actual people are dying, and you're like, ha ha ha, look, I killed Ethan Klein's wife. Look how fucking cute I am. What the fuck? Exactly, dude. Exactly, Dadina. How are these people real? I have no fucking idea.
Secretary got...
Human skulls are getting mailed to their house.
Around the same time, we received 2 human skulls in the mail at our home, which led us to having a very pleasant interview with the FBI. Things have progressed well past the point of that's just what the internet does.
I'm done being nice to Ethan. I gave it a chance. My sincerity and my empathy in that last video was real.
Hasan's fans and orbiters are retweeting people saying, I'd love to swing their kid by the legs into an oak tree over and over again.
Holy shit,
maybe if Ethan's
dude.
able to get some help. Maybe
No
he stops
fucking...
harassing other
No,
creators.
dude. Holy shit, bro. Like... Dude, I'm gonna be real. Like, the Hasan fans and shit, these fucking... Like, they show up in every one of my videos, right? They show up underneath my comment section. Now, I'm not being harassed or anything. I'm not a pussy like that. They're just fucking spurgs that get a little angry, right? They're mad that I attacked their I attacked their Jim Jones, right? They've drank the Kool-Aid. They somehow survived. Now they're mad at me because of it. But this is the type of shit they don't say. They haven't said anything this wild in my comment section, but they have on multiple occasions. They just consistently be calling Ela Klein a terrorist in my comment section, which I think is just fucking hilarious. That they think that's a winning thing. They're like, well, Ethan called them that. I'm like, nah, not really, but you do you, boo boo. But this is fucking disgusting. I'd love to swing their kids by the legs into an oak tree over and over again. What type of fucking losers are you? And the funny thing is Hasan and his whole community could have condemned this outright and like put a stop to it, but they do soft they soft condemn it, right? They're like, well, obviously I don't support harassment. But when you have this type of rhetoric on the internet, this is what you bring. No, that's not what anybody fucking brings. Like, the fact that they're going so hard is because you guys fucking talk about them on a daily. Oh, well, they talk about us too. Yeah, because you guys are saying shit like this. Bro, I'd be fucking throwing shit back at you, dude. I would be, like, loading up every diarrhea I ever had into water bottles and, like, lumping it back right at your asses.
Maybe if he does these things, eventually he'll find peace.
I did. I saw the Idubbbz thing coming. I 100% did. A lot of people, like Nicholas Diorio, didn't see it coming. I didn't actually talk about it beforehand. I heard like some rumbles. I saw the promo for Content Cop, and a lot of people were saying it was going to be like Content Cop Asmongold. Some people that I said it was going to be Content Cop, like he was going to do like a fucking BreadTube video, which is exactly what he did. And it was going to be like Content Cop, Schmigel Bigglestein, or like Chomo grabber, Content Cop Chomo grabbers, or something like that. And I was like, bro, that doesn't make any sense, dude. Anissa be steady fucking living on the dick of like Denims and all these other motherfuckers. It's going to be on Ethan. It's going to be on Ethan, and Hasan's going to be the one feeding him the narrative. And you can 100% see this. This is like Hasan talking points from beginning to end. It's removing context, because like Hasan's biggest thing that he does 24/7 is remove context. He does it all the time. He lies by omission constantly, and the entire content cop is a lie by omission.
All of this is happening and somehow Ethan is labeled the harasser. How can you not see what's going on? They're doxing him and trying to take away his kids from—
How can you not see? Well, they figured it out, bro. They figured it out. He shaved his head and everything.
Political differences. That's why this video is sponsored by Aura. And a topic where people's personal information is—
You're a bastard, Willie Mac. You're a bastard. Let's get right into the good stuff.
Drama stems from Ethan and Hasan's disagreements on Israel-Palestine. Now you might think Ethan must be super far right or something. No, they agree on 95% of things.
Do you believe that Israel is committing a genocide in Gaza?
Yes.
Okay, great. This is a disagreement that you and I have.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you. If you want to add that.
This has never been a disagreement, Hasan. You made this disagreement up because you needed to like keep your audience angry at him. The audience was already mad. Ethan's whole thing was like, maybe we don't say, maybe we don't fucking, oh, Cream Star. I like that, dude. Oh, dude, I'm fucking Cream Star, dude, because I'm, like, creaming on myself, dude. I'm, like, the cream daddy. Every day I wake up and instead of just getting, like, a normal morning boner, I, like, shoot it into the air like a fucking water mister, and it just, like, glazes me over. Anyways, yeah, dude, Ethan's whole thing was, like, maybe we don't glass all of Israel, and Hasan was like, my chat doesn't like that, and maybe, Ethan, you shouldn't be, like, asking for this to happen to yourself. And it's like, what the fuck, bro?
Like the genesis of Zionism included, you know, the displacement and you know, the ravaging of the culture that
we do love cream chat
existed there, then I would agree with you.
He even cried for Palestinians getting killed, relating to being a new dad.
As a father, it's even hard to talk about. This dude was holding his infant. It was like a year old. He was like patting her on the back and
dude, this shit really gets to you when you first become a dad. Like, well, like I didn't I didn't like cry in movies or anything before I had a kid. Now that I've had a kid, I got like emotions and shit. It's like fucking gay as hell, dude. I'll be watching a movie and like they'll be like, I was watching American Underdog. It's about like Kurt Warner, and there's a moment where like he hugged his son and he's like, I love you, Dad. And he's like, he was like, I love you too. And I'm like, fucking pain, bro. Pain, brother.
And like his final goodbye. I mean, didn't expect to get emotional about that, but like I'm a new dad and that shit really.
If you don't know where to start,
it definitely fucks with you, though. No, this type of shit definitely fucks with. And this is why I condemn the actions of Hamas so much, and like, but I still condemn Israel as well, is because I just think that there's so many kids and shit dying, and the fact that like I know it's okay to cry, but I'm joking. I like if you're watching this, you're like, oh, dude, King Jiffy manned up. I got a man. I'm gonna cry it out, dude. Just run yourself a hot shower, get in there, fucking ugly cry, just like fucking bellow yourself to sleep, and then afterwards have like a really nice jerk off session and like get that post nut clarity. Or if you're a girl, dude, just fucking get one of those super vibrators, those ones with the weird cups that just like attach to the clit. Just do one of those, get yourself fucking some of that post nut clarity, and you'll be good, brother. You'll be good.
Yeah, this wasn't good enough because Anissa is 50% Irish.
Oh, but what I was gonna say is why I condemn Hamas and I also condemn Israel is I just don't like this read or see about these kids dying, bro. It's sad. It's fucking depressing. And it's like, well, Israel did this, so it deserved. No, dude. Once these innocent kids and civilians are dying, and this is why like Hasan makes me so grossed out about the thing. It's like, well, they're baby settlers. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Once you start like making up excuses why kids deserve to die, you're a fucking piece of shit.
50% Lebanese and grew up in Canada, so she can tap into empathy that Ethan can't comprehend.
I'll say it for anyone who doesn't know. Anissa is half Lebanese and half Irish.
Dude, and this fucking virtue signal shit is so cringe, bro. It's so gay, dude. I fucking hate this shit, dude. It's like, well, look what boxes I hit. Look what boxes I check, bro. I'm allowed to feel this way. Oh my god, it's so sad. Fuck off, dude. Get the fuck out of here, bro. It's like, oh my god, dude. You guys, she literally, Anissa literally has a video of why I left Islam, right? And fucking Idubbbz ripped a Quran in half. Like, get the fuck out of here with your virtue signaling, bro. You guys don't have the past to back this shit up.
For anyone unfamiliar, the Irish have been on the receiving end.
Ooh, we got a retard. We got a wild retard in chat. Let's go, boys. My favorite, bro. My favorite. Oh fuck. I fucked it up. I am low quality swap, bro. Where is that idiot, bro? Where is it? Live chat right there. It's fucking, I'm fucking everything up, dude. Oh my god, we got a beautiful, beautiful retard. Bro, there's literally 7 people watching. Log off, bro. You are not paying rent with this low-quality slop. Bro, you can fucking mauled all day. You and your fucking little... What is that? What is that? Just a fucking blue broken penis? Is that your avatar? You got a little blue broken penis? Like, look how tough you are, bro. Look how tough you are. Oh no, I'm failing. I will never be able to live again. I will cry myself into sleep. I will delete my entire channel just to make you happy. Random fucking nobody who showed up in my chat. I'm really happy that you exist.
Of a lot of oppression and genocide. On the part of the Lebanese, they've received a lot of oppression and attacks from the IDF. So Anissa is very well familiar with the propaganda.
Very well. So well that during the time you guys were dating, you were ripping fucking Qurans in half on your channel. Genius, dude. You guys really cared about, like, the trife of all this shit. You really cared. Fuck off.
And the shit coming out of Israel.
Terrible as the Holocaust was, obviously it was horrendous, and how disgusting the doctor was that did it on Jewish people. They found a couple of really groundbreaking discoveries through that experimentation.
Yeah, she prefers that Nazi propaganda.
It's okay that so many of the Jewish people died during the Holocaust, guys, because I'm a Nisa Jamba and I think it's okay. No, fuck you, bro. No. It's never okay to, like, you can't just fucking go out here and justify the actions of, like, one of the worst atrocities in history, because we got some good medical achievements from it, right? We got some fucking, a little bit of fucking achievements from what happened during 1940s Germany. Yeah, it sucked they died, but look at the medical advancement. Get out of here, bro. Just fucking, you're gross.
I'm also half Irish, so that makes me an authority on all things in the Middle East, unlike...
Yeah, I love it. Bro got clean looking you misspelled Silvestri. It was Silvestri Stallone while looking worse than Asmongold. Talk about pedo Cameron F305. My God. Well, you want to hear my opinion on that? The honorary dev stuff sucks. I think he was like 19, she was 16. I think in most states that's legal. Would I do it? Probably not, because I'm like a fucking adult now and I'm married with a kid. But even when I was 19, it's not like I don't know what you want me to fucking talk about the camera thing. I haven't even reacted to his shit on my channel. But yeah, dude. Sure, it's the fucking. Well, I mean, you wanna make the same type of bullshit for Hasan, right? Like, dude literally said if it's old enough, if it's old enough to count, it's old enough to mount. If we're pulling up shit up from like 10 years ago. Get the fuck out of here with your Cameron 305 guy. Get the fuck. You're so retarded, bro.
Hasan, who is 0% Irish. Ian does this appeal to authority to make Ethan seem like an idiot. But the authority he's appealing to is Hasan.
I would say that Hasan was very well equipped to talk about that topic. He's just got done capturing a massive progressive audience who are very politically savvy. They follow Hasan. Hasan is strictly a political streamer, so this is something they're very keyed into.
I have dozens of
keyed into. By that he means omit everything and lie about most things.
He was documenting how this dude will blatantly lie and make up conspiracies when covering topics or arguing with people. But we don't even have to reference those videos because another day has passed, and that means Hasan has told a whole new set of lies. So I just want to give you a sample of just how dishonest this guy is. Ethan talks about Jewish heritage in the Middle East. Hasan then ignores that and argues against something Ethan didn't even say.
Hasan attempts to deny Jewish heritage in the Middle East. It characterizes them not as indigenous, but as white colonizers. This is
which is true. There was, like, even in the fucking Quran, bro. Even in the fucking Quran, it talks about there being, like, Israelites there in Israel. So, like, that bitch was written in, like it was written, like, way at the beginning of time, bro. That shit was, like, hella fucking old. So, if they're talking about there being people there, like, there was people there. Like, it's just so fucking nonsensical to act like every person in fucking Israel is from, like, Brooklyn.
The Israeli heritage in the Middle East is now tarnished by... Well, first of all, Israeli heritage in the Middle East.
She's
Israeli
growing,
heritage
bro.
in the Middle East. That doesn't exist. Shut the fuck up.
He didn't say Israeli heritage. He said Jewish heritage.
Talking about a 76-year process, okay? You can't really call that heritage in the Middle East, okay? But as far as
I mean, you can if you read the fucking, or like if you, I just listened to part of the, like, a breakdown of the Quran, so I'm not like fucking an expert in this shit. I'm just a massive retard. But like it definitely talks about the Israelites in Israel and like the Israeli people. So, and it's like early chapters. So if it's that far back, there is still people there. So, like, dude's getting fact checked by the fucking Quran, bro.
Jewish heritage in the Middle East, that's valid. You can talk about individually Arab Jews and whatnot, but that's not what you're talking about. You're playing fast and loose, making this dangerous conflation between Judaism and Zionism once again, over and over and over and over again.
You're the one doing that.
Hasan is denying Israeli heritage in the Middle East. The Israeli heritage in the Middle East, you know what that is? Death and destruction, genocide and apartheid. That's the only thing that Israeli heritage is in the Middle East. If you're talking about Jewish heritage in the Middle East, that's a little different, of course.
That's literally what he's talking about. Ethan won.
That's 100% what Ethan was talking about. Ethan was never talking about. He has condemned Zionism over and over and over and over again, but you motherfuckers won't listen. You just won't listen. You close your ears and you listen to only what you want to hear. And that's the problem with this whole thing, is you have one side that's just conflating everything into Zionism and one side that's saying, listen, I can separate the two, you motherfuckers can't. And these retards just keep like conflating them over and over again.
Argument without even being there. Hasan's chat finally corrects him for fundamentally misunderstanding Ethan's point. But it
Dude, no, I actually love my child. I would never torture her by making her listen to fucking hummus pickles, dude. Hummus pickles would literally make my babies like she would be like drooling till the age of 10 or some shit.
From declaring victory in this imaginary conversation.
Oh, he didn't say Israeli heritage in the Middle East. He said Jewish heritage in the Middle East. My bad. Well, let me tell you, Jewish heritage in the Middle East is not Israeli heritage, okay? So you can't talk about Israel while talking
That's exactly what Ethan's saying, you fucking retard.
about Jewish heritage in the Middle East. So my point still stands.
His ego is out of control. Hasan makes up in the debate with Ethan that Iraqi...
Bro, he's talking about, I see the Dina kind of like, making a joke about, oh no, he has headphones on. I don't know who you're making a joke on, the Dina. I understand you might be backing me up, but like, Juan Pedro Felipe, I think is making jokes about, Hasan rotting my baby's brain by just listening to him.
The right to return for Jewish Arabs after they were kicked out.
Iraqi Jews can go back to their home tomorrow.
It's so funny. That whole debate, just Ethan fucking smoked him. And it's funny because everybody on Hasan's side basically broke it down and said, oh, well, Ethan kept conceding. The only reason Ethan kept conceding and like is one, he's like a fucking goofball, twitchy comedian guy. And another reason is it was like to get Hasan to move the fuck on, dude. He kept trying to get to the next points and the next points and the next points, and Hasan just wanted the fucking mauled.
Jews can go back to their homes tomorrow.
Absolutely.
That is insane. You are fucking out of your mind.
Yes, they can.
Okay, how? Tell me how.
Can.
How did the Jews go back to their...
They don't want to, and I understand why they wouldn't want to, because America fucking invaded and destroyed Iraq. But yes, they could.
Loaderbox immediately pointed out that Iraq return law specifically excludes Jews. He can't even tell the truth about the...
Bro, I've watched a little bit of Loaderbox. I don't like Destiny. I've never been a Destiny guy. Loaderbox is pretty interesting, though. I found him pretty okay. Destiny's just kind of Destiny is like the Steven Crowder of the left, bro.
He's drinking.
Hold on, what are you drinking?
It's a Dr. Pepper cream
Isn't that
soda.
Who owns that?
By the way, during this debate, I looked up if Dr. Pepper was on the no fucking drink list, and it definitely is. It's a Texas-owned company that is 100% not okay in that list.
No, but it's not on the BDS national BDS list.
We'll double check.
Yes, I'm 100% sure.
Hasan is so incompetent, he came into a single Google search that shows that the owner of Dr. Pepper is a staunch Zionist. The point of this isn't that Israel is in the right or all Palestinians are bad. It's to show that he will confidently lie if it makes him look better in the moment. He didn't know about any of these things, yet he lies to try and act like he's in the right on all of them. It's effortless for him. And it's because he doesn't care about the truth. All he does is anti-West propaganda. It's his brand.
Just like I do propaganda.
I'm a propagandist.
Well, no. For the record. And when you call him out on it, he doesn't correct the record. No, he molds and hides behind the dead bodies of Palestinians to avoid accountability.
I will never forget these monstrous pieces of for looking at a situation like the one happening, the one unfolding in Gaza, and choosing to never say anything about it.
You guys are wondering what I'm eating? They're delicious. They're called cheese curds because I'm a fat fuck. If you want more ammo to make fun of me anytime, I will give it to you freely. I am eating fried cheese puffs, basically. This is my popcorn, so I can turn into a gelatinous slob, dude. I'm the fucking commentary Frogan, baby. It's gonna be great. I've already mentioned this before, but this is my workout for when I sumo wrestle fucking Nicholas Diorio.
Only to then make these drama videos to call out the people who call out.
Dude, you make drama videos. That's all you fucking do, Hasan, you fucking little weird cum goblin.
The Israeli government. It is disgusting.
Nobody cares that you criticize Israel. It's that you're making stuff up. He will then slander people for calling him out, repeating that loaner box and Destiny were paid by Israel to go to the West Bank. The account that made the claim admits to making it up. Doesn't matter.
This guy be making shit up all the fucking time. This guy's a fucking weirdo. I've seen this dude on Twitter. The dude's a fucking schizo.
Matter to Hasan still reports the lie.
He's like a Hasan and Bad Empanada simp, and if you're a fan of Bad Empanada, you are the worst person on the world. I'm sorry. If you even like think that it's cool to be like, oh well, he's in the same position as I am. Dude's a fucking weirdo.
Also, I went on a paid trip to Israel, and that's not weird. Not weird that I went on a paid trip to Israel.
These guys,
bro, if you cared so much, why don't you go to fucking Gaza? Why don't you go there, go like on the ground research, on the ground journalism? You won't because you're a bitch.
Their own money to do on-the-ground journalism in the West Bank. Recorded and covered how the IDF burnt down fruit markets of civilians. Interviewed tons of people. Well, they're Israeli operatives because they don't agree with every single thing that Hasan says. Hasan goes on vacation to France, Japan, Australia, all over the course of the war, and then reads Twitter for his research. Yet he claims he's doing the important journalism.
But if it's between me going live and giving you 10 hours of on-the-ground, 10 hours of reporting from the ground, at a critical moment, at a critical time, versus not going live that day just so I can go on Piers Morgan and fucking yell at him, I think it's selfish of me to take the Piers Morgan route.
On the ground, dude's either in his hotel suite or the third floor of his LA mansion. When told that he should go to Israel, Hasan says he can't because it would be too dangerous.
That's your argument? You got it? You can enter Israel? What's more to say? Brother, I am not going to Nazi Germany, okay? I hope you understand this. Brother,
No, he can't fly into Israel to actually go over to Gaza because, oh, that's
basically Nazi Germany, guys. I can't actually do any actual research because that requires me to go to Israel and they're the bad guys. And, I'm sorry, I just can't do that.
I'm sure that you could figure another way out, or way in. If you're so in tune with all this bullshit that you're pretending, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? You could fly into one of the Middle Eastern countries and then go into fucking Gaza and do like actual fucking journalism, but you can't do that.
I'm not going to Israel so you can execute me, okay? Stop demanding.
Oh yeah, no, I agree with this. Okay, so this is a chat I just got. It says in this conversation I have a side. I think the guy is right about this, but all players in the game kind of suck. But God, Hasan is rough to listen to. To the weird mental gymnastics to say I'm right. No, absolutely. This is one of his biggest problems too that I fucking hate about the dude is he will either use manipulation or mental gymnastics, which is just a different way of a different type of manipulation. Dude will call people unhinged. He will gaslight. He will do whatever the fuck he has to say to make himself right. He will omit facts. He will make everything. He will pull everything that isn't fucking 100% on his side and pretend that evidence doesn't exist. And if you bring that evidence up, you're unhinged. You're a schizo. You're fucking. You need to get help. Like it's the worst, most disgusting manipulation in the world.
I go to Israel. Stop demanding that I go to Nazi Germany.
He was invited to do actual journalism in Gaza, but wouldn't because they couldn't guarantee his safety.
The thinking about going to Gaza thing is also kind of stupid because I was invited by literal journalists that work in Gaza. Okay? And I unfortunately...
Then why didn't you fucking go?
Because I was scared. Because I didn't want to get my Gucci shoes dirty. My Gucci shoes might get scuffy wuffied. Not my Gucci shoes. I don't care that babies are dying. I can talk about it right here while reading Twitter and staring at my bullshit in the background.
Most likely will not be able to go because the people that I did talk to said that they could not give me security assurances that Israel would not kill me or anyone really.
How does he think on-the-ground journalism works? There's a danger to it. That's why it's called On the Ground. Brandon Buckingham went to Lebanon when Israel was bombing them. Places he was at were bombed the next day. By the time he finished the video, some of the people he was with were now dead. But you know, Hasan, the real journalist, thinks reading Twitter is reporting from the ground. Idubbbz analysis.
I would say that Hasan was very well equipped to talk about that topic. They follow Hasan. Hasan is strictly a political streamer, so this is something they're very keyed into.
The only way you would think this is if you're a Hasan fan.
I'm more extreme than Ian, where I'm like pretty anti-capitalist. I hate landlords. I hate the system that we're in.
My understanding is that the property owners who have properties there choose just not to rent it at all.
Yeah, kill them. Kill those motherfuckers in a video game. Sorry. Holy shit. Murder those motherfuckers in the street. Let the streets soak in their fucking red capitalist bloods, dude.
Whoa, Ian's about to get cucked live.
Is there anything you want to promote while you're here? I don't know.
Creator Clash 2, give us money for charity next year.
All right, Creator Clash 2, guys.
They raised $0 from Creator Clash 2. Even when Ian...
It's so funny that they call it like a charity stream or whatever, and they're like, it was a charity fight. It was a charity fight. Zero money made for charity. Literally, it took Idubbbz like crawling onto a live stream and like sucking dildos for 12 hours just to make some money for charity.
Ian describes Hasan's America deserved 9/11 moment. He makes it sound so much more nuanced and sophisticated than it actually was. An anger-induced crash out.
America deserved 9/11, dude. I'm saying it.
That is someone who is extremely frustrated and passionate about a particular topic. In this case, American imperialism and terrorism. You could have looked into that. You could have talked to Hasan a little bit more and found out what his international politics opinions are. But you wouldn't even need to do that. You can look at it online.
If you look at it online, Hasan crashed out because Dan Crenshaw mentioned that military bases are an important part of national and global security.
You're not the only one that's told me this, and particularly not the only one that's told me this that has a military background, saying it's virtually impossible to prevent any of this stuff without having bases over there.
He trotted through the twilight
Dude,
woods.
it's just so insane to me, bro. This whole thing, just watching, like, the categorical, like, insanity of Hasan and knowing Twitch's guidelines. Now, I disagree with Twitch's guidelines. I am firmly okay with freedom of speech. I think Hasan should be able to say this unhinged stuff, and we should just be able to bully him on the internet. That's where I sit. I think we should be able to call him a cum goblin, a fucking loser. Look at this little douchebag. I think we should be able to do that. And it just, eventually the internet will figure its own shit out. The problem is, anybody, like, for a long time, any contradictory voices were just nuked off the platform.
That's 100% right, yeah. I mean, and you need that relationship with the host nation, of course, that you want to partner with, and that's generally what we do, especially in the special operations community.
Hasan's academic response was to say that Dan deserved to be raped by soldiers.
What the f is wrong with this dude? Didn't he go to war and, like, literally lose his eye because some mujahideen, a brave soldier, his eye hole with their dick? Isn't that how he lost his dumbass eye? Because he got his eye hole by a brave soldier? America deserved 9/11, dude. We totally brought it on ourselves, dude. Holy shit.
And what's funny is if Hasan just played 20 more seconds of the video, Dan...
Oh, dude, it was nice having you up. You have a good one, buddy.
...would have acknowledged Hasan's frustrations.
Again, I think it is reactionary to just assume that we have bad intentions all the time and that everything is America's fault. I hear that constantly. Mostly coming from the left, but that isolationist sentiment certainly comes from the right as well, and it's a reaction. It's a reaction to the Iraq War and some of the mistakes we made there. These matters are complex, and they deserve complex reasoning and analysis and a little nuanced understanding. And I just think that's how we should look at it. We don't say that we're always right. That's
how I agree with that 100%. I think a lot of people like look at it as very black and white. I don't think anything's black and white. And that's even the problem with like Hasan and his community towards Ethan, is they're looking at this like a black and white solution when Ethan's the one bringing nuance into the situation. And again, I'm not even a big... I don't even really like Ethan. Like, to be honest with you, I don't like Ethan. But in this situation, once they went after his kids, dude, that fucking pissed me off. Like, that literally pissed me off. And it was just one of those things that I was like, fuck these guys, bro. Fuck this. Fuck them. I think these guys are disgusting. I always knew that they were disgusting, but that was like the line that made me be like, okay, I'm gonna be fucking certified shit talker from now on.
That's not what I'm saying.
When confronted by his uncle on the Young Turks, Hasan backpedals, blaming it on English being his second language.
But you understand now, and not just now, but you understood fairly soon after you said it, that saying Americans deserve 9/11 is a completely different statement and one that's wrong.
No, I didn't say Americans deserve 9/11. I said America deserves 9/11.
Right, but that's
and
still
in that
wrong.
Moment,
Oh yeah, dude, because that's the clarification we fucking need, Hummus Pickles. Hummus Pickles cleared it up, guys. It's okay, dude. America, Americans didn't deserve 9/11. America, the country, deserved 9/11. So what if people live here? What the fucking what the fuck, dude? Well, why not, dude? Fucking, yeah, dude, so what? Americans died. It's not a big deal.
Maybe you can chalk it up to English being my second.
What these guys? Mauled harder liberal. What the fuck? What the fuck? Dude, it's so fun. Again, dude, I said this earlier on when we started this, dude. It's getting harder and harder to tell the difference between a Nick Fuentes Sneeko fan and a Hasan fan, bro. They basically just be saying the same shit.
Language or whatever you want to chalk it up to.
This wasn't a thoughtful commentary. It's him having an emotional outburst instead of engaging with why Dan is wrong. Maybe he is. I don't know. And then avoiding accountability when he gets criticized. He does this with everybody when the conversation gets slightly complex. I would love to chalk all this up to Ian just not knowing what he's talking about, but it's much more malicious than that. Ian is leaving out context on purpose.
He just got done capturing a massive progressive audience who are very politically savvy. They follow Hasan.
Politically savvy. Hasan fans are fucking giant fucking retards. If you're a Hasan fan, you basically wake up in the morning, you have to read a sign that has to remind you how to breathe, but you don't read it. It's just fucking like text-to-speech. It's like, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in. And you're like, oh, fuck, what Hasan doing? What Hasan doing? That's like your entire life. You just can't fucking think for yourself. So you need your fucking Jim Jones Hummus Pickles to tell you how to live.
Ethan.
The word of the day is empathy.
I think only in these past couple of years have I gained the ability empathy. And
poor fucking Idubbbz. He found himself some empathy, went and did some of the most unempathetic shit of all time. See, I just never found the motherfucker. I still be looking. I check under rocks. I'm like, empathy? Where the fuck are you, empathy? Supposedly, I should find some of thee, and I will be a better person. But instead, I just fucking talk about cum and pussy jokes on the internet.
I'm very ashamed to admit that. It sounds really pathetic to say at the age of 32, I've acquired empathy.
It is. Idubbbz understanding the word empathy confuses me a bit. You see, when Ethan told a story about how CPS was falsely called because he talked about his kids getting sick, I felt bad for Ethan. Ian felt bad for the accusers.
I just, like, can't help myself but, like, feel for other people's pain and suffering now.
Now, once in the initial Content Cop video, did Ian mention that...
And this is so gross. This is why I fucking hated it so bad. And this got me mauling. This, like, watching the Content Cop had me mauling, bro. I was so fucking pissed because it's like, how could you be such a disgusting little fuck that you find out somebody's kids are, like, put in danger because of, oh, you had a difference of political views on the internet? So, you know what that means. Let's call CPS on his fucking kids. That's the most disgusting, most unhinged bullshit I'd ever seen in my entire life. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. You're a disgusting little fucking cum goblin.
CPS was falsely called on Ethan and Hila. It makes the entire video horribly dishonest because it is the catalyst for this entire drama. If you watch the Content Cop, you would think that Ethan was dragging Idubbbz into a drama that he started for no reason.
And hold on, guys. My kid found a fucking fork. No. Jesus Christ, dude. We ordered food, and I think she pulled it out of the bag that the food was in. And now she looks really upset with me because I took her toy. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Here you go. I gave you a toy. She looks so mad at me, bro. My baby's just fucking, like, staring at me. Just like, how could you take the plastic fork that I found? What, you think that I don't know how to responsibly handle it? No, you're a fucking baby, dog.
It's all culminated, at least for my story, in Ethan burning bridges with people until he burned the bridge with me. Since Ethan and Hasan's falling out, I've been keeping to myself mostly. I don't have many nice things to say. Maybe if Ethan's able to get some help, maybe if he stops harassing other creators, maybe if
Bro, I love that he just like encompasses this as again Hasan talking points. Ethan, you need to get some help. Stop harassing creators. Well, all Ethan has been doing is levying criticism at them, and they've been harassing him. He didn't send them fucking skulls. Their community sent him fucking skulls. He didn't call a CPS. Well, they don't know any of them. None of them have kids because they're fucking like loser incels. But see, I can use that in the context of Hasan because he's just a fucking loser that sits in his house and fucking streams all day and doesn't have a fucking family. He fits the definition of an incel better than Ethan does. So you got these fucking incels yelling at Ethan, right? And calling him an incel. It's just so, this is glorious. These fucking losers without kids are like, yeah, dude, the kids didn't even really worry about it. It's like, bro, your fucking existence is drying up. Get the fuck out of here.
he does these things, eventually he'll find peace and we can like rekindle our friendship.
These other creators are Frogan, who's Hasan's mod, and repeatedly would write that Ethan hates
The jar of greed. I haven't seen that yet, bro. That is such a good meme, dog. Holy shit, bro. What the fuck?
Era for not supporting the October 7th terrorist attacks. On October 7th, she would write, leftists preach and foam at the mouth at the thought of revolution happening in America. But as soon as it happens in the Middle East, what they're doing is wrong. Ethan is apparently a racist for not supporting or calling for terrorist attacks. What else do you call this? Denims would argue that Israelis who do mandatory service should get Nuremberg trial, which was the execution of the 21 worst Nazis in World War II. Ethan's wife did mandatory service as a secretary, yet he is apparently the worst of the worst according to Denims.
Definitely not a fan of, you know, I had to do what I was forced to do. And I feel like you start getting really close to like Nuremberg trial type shit there.
She'd hype up the guy who advocated for and jokingly takes credit for calling CPS.
Lets his dogs all over his mansion, and he just leaves the on the floor, something that is probably related to the fact that his former housekeeper is suing him for a number of...
God, Denims is such a dumbass bimbo, bro. God, she is like the perfect fucking like female version of Hasan. All Hasan does is like fucking try to like pose and shit and talk about how sexy he is all the time, and then like you look at his fucking you look at him and what's her bitch's name, Denims' Instagram. It's all just fucking thought pictures of themselves. They're so self-absorbed with their own image. They don't give a fuck about what's happening in the world. They see this as a way to get like absolutely like super dedicated like insane fans, and they just like live off of that shit. They don't care about any of this. I refuse to believe that they're anything but audience captured. They just fucking like know that their audience is entrenched now. They can get away with fucking murder online, and that people will tell them they're fucking attractive, and that's all they care about.
Different reasons. So I would assume he doesn't actually have a housekeeper anymore, or perhaps he lost his extra housekeeper. So now the house is just like covered in dog and he has kids, and his kids like...
I mean, dude, this is so fucking pathetic how they like call other people slop tubers. I get in trouble for pausing way too fucking much. I mean, when I release this, it'll probably be a 2-fucking-hour video. But this is the thing, right? I'll sit here and I'll add context. I'll try to add as much as I can to it and like add little points. These motherfuckers sit here like this, bro. Oh no. I can't believe Ethan's so bad. Dude, it's so fucking cringe. I love that they're like, and I don't care if you call me a slop tuber. It does like has literally no effect on me. It's the most retarded thing in the world, because I'm like, yeah, I mean, it is kind of slop. I'm not gonna disagree with that. But so is like 90% of what's on YouTube. Like, what am I supposed to like give a shit when the people I'm covering, the people that you're fucking simping for, do absolutely worse every day on their stream? Who gives a fuck? I don't care.
Crawl into the dog and God forbid, I don't know what they do with it. I don't know if they eat it, or if it's just from like contact with it with their hands or something, but they contracted a parasite that I had previously never heard of in my life called Giardia from the dog that is all over his house.
Dude, how is it that like maybe once a week I look into what Ethan Klein's been up to, and every time I manage to find more and more terrible shit. Also, this is not a joking matter, by the way. It can be very severe and deadly to small children. I mean, much like many other illnesses, it's very, very, very dangerous.
Bitch, how would you know? You ain't got kids. Bro, you drying up, dog. You fucking drying up. You fucking just sit there. You wait for that next OnlyFans to come in. You know what I mean? You waiting for that next OnlyFans. You want to show them your twat. That was sexist, but I don't give a fuck. This is fun.
When infants get the same sicknesses that adults get. There are lots of things that you can get as an adult. You're totally fine. You'll be A-okay.
You know what's in your cheap protein powder?
Dude, nothing of context, bro. Dude, she just like doubles down on it, bro. And then like apologizes later in her live stream, but doesn't really apologize. Obviously, I condemn harassment. But like, Ethan Klein kind of fucking sucks, guys. Guys, he kind of fucking sucks. Did you know that it's not even a big deal that CPS showed up, though, by the way? Because it's not like his fucking 3-year-old will even remember it, or 2-year-old, or whatever the fuck it is, 5-year-old.
No problem. A child, a small infant that has no immune system, shouldn't be catching anything.
Dude, she cared so much about these motherfuckers in this moment, but then as soon as CPS shows up and they're worried about their kids, it's not that big of a deal, guys. It's just like a blatant hypocrisy that never gets called out by their own fandom. So this is the type of shit that made me stop like watching political people, and now I was watching people on the right back in the day, and it was shit like this, where it was just like doublespeak, and then the next day they're like changing their position just drastically, and that pissed me off. And I don't understand how anybody with 2 functioning brain cells can see this, and then when she starts like justifying like that the kids probably weren't harmed or probably won't be scarred from it, I'm like, bro, that's just blatant doublespeak. Get the fuck out of here, bro. How could you how could you look at yourself in the mirror and like think that this was like okay? That you can't see the fucking hypocrisy here, and you can't utilize your own thought process to be like, maybe these guys aren't that great.
This chat is an edit compiling the worst messages from Denims chat, but they are real. You can see the same messages in the top right, which is her live chat. So the guy who made the video is advocating CPS take his kids away. Denims is talking about how careless and shocking it is of Ethan to put his kids in so much danger, as her chat is also echoing that his kids should be taken away. On top of wanting Gila, the mother of his children, executed, which Bad Empanada roleplays.
Secretary got.
Meanwhile, Ian's saying, look how unhinged and crazy Ethan's acting. He even went after Matt Lieb.
He's finding new people every day, basically, to get in fights with.
Of all people, this guy, Matt Lieb.
Matt Lieb is in this, like, middle tier. His valuable association is Rhett and Link. So, Rhett and Link, conveniently, are also in this category of popular and powerful men who Ethan does not want to burn bridges with. I think Ethan only respects power right now, which is one of the reasons I made this video in the first place.
Dude, which is so funny. He was talking about like Ethan like losing subs over this, or like a bunch of random like shit like that. Like it was like, oh well, it might hurt your image, Ethan. And then he was talking about it like appeals to power. Bro, I honestly like from what I've seen of like seeing like Ethan in his fucking like absolute fucking scorched earth mode that he's in right now, is I don't think he fucking cares. You went after his kids, bro. He doesn't give a fuck about that anymore. He just like knows you guys are fucking schizo, and they might appeal to power. Fuck appeal to power, bro. I want you guys to fucking burn. I don't like you guys anymore. You guys used to like give me that fake fucking smile. You pretended to be my friends for years. You guys can fucking like go jerk off in a corner somewhere on each other.
The important context, Ian, is that Matt Lieb is constantly platforming Bad Empanada as a good guy.
We both have bad in our YouTube names, and yet we are both good. What do you make of that?
Am I good? I don't know.
I think you're good.
Matt Lieb has also tweeted out, we gotta save them kids, referring to people trying to get CPS to take away Ethan's children. Ethan Healer simply...
Scumbag. Fucking loser. Scumbag. Piece of shit. Like I fucking that's the only way you can categorize these guys, bro. Once they brought his kids into it, this is where my line was, right? If you were like, oh, I believe Bad Empanada, and I think Ethan should we should like call CBS and have Ethan's kids taken away. Villain, bad guy, you guys suck. You're the fucking worst. Scum of the fucking earth. That's the line. Like rational people, I don't agree with Ethan's takes. That's fair enough. Absolutely fair. We're gonna live in a world where we disagree with each other. But once you start like actually attacking somebody's family, like pretending to kill somebody else's wife in a video game, and then going on like a witch hunt to try to get his kids taken away, you are the fucking scum of the earth. It's not that complicated, bro.
asking Ian to tweet out that this is crazy, something I and many other creators who have never spoken to the H3 crew did easily. If the same thing happened to Hasan, I would come to his defense because it's not honest.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. If somebody like it, well, Hasan doesn't have kids, and though like kids are a huge line for me. But if Hasan had kids and somebody like tried to get Hasan's kids taken away over internet beef, I would literally come and do the same shit I'm doing right now. And I don't like Hasan. I didn't like Ethan before this. I still don't really like Ethan that much. I think he's a virtue signaling little tool bag. But at the same time, I know the difference between right and wrong. And Hasan and his fucking crew are in the wrong here.
Online banter or disagreements at that point, it's real life harassment. When CPS showed up to Ethan's house, Denims seemingly justifies it, saying kids can't form memories at 5, so who cares?
I think it's embarrassing for Ela here to be like, this is so traumatic for the kids, you're trying to traumatize the children. It's like, dog, you literally, the vast majority of people are, like, are not remembering anything that happened to them at 3. It's just sympathy, right? It's just, she's just pulling like the IDF classic card of like, please, my life is so difficult. Please, everyone that is
This isn't a fucking IDF classic card. You guys got CPS to go to his fucking house. Like, oh my god, dude. Every time I get into this CPS shit, it just fucking makes me, it does make me mauled. This makes me mauled, dude. Because it's like, it's so annoying seeing people like this talk about like the death of children and how you don't care about the deaths of children, or you don't care about children's safety, and then they literally platform somebody who's trying to put somebody else's kids in danger. Like, get the fuck out of here. You guys are disgusting little pieces of shit. We're the baddies now. You've always been the baddies.
Needs awful experiences because we're the ones dealing with the real awful experiences.
You're trying to take her kids away. That seems reasonable to complain about as a mother.
I was like, I really don't want you to create any bad memory here for them. Like, they are 5 and 3. They don't understand this shit. So I told him,
create any bad memory for them. You're not.
God, she's such a bitch, bro. I'm sorry. I've been trying not to call her a bitch. I did make jokes about her snatch being dried up, but like, I feel like people get a little bit more mad when you call her a bitch. She's a fucking bitch, bro. This is bitch-made shit. This is some bitch-made shit. This isn't like because she's a girl, she's a bitch. This is just some bitch-made ass shit right here.
Memories at 3 years old, and it's very rare that you're forming memories at 5 years old. Nah, yes, you are. No, you're not. When we're talking about being able to remember, being able to
see, she's having trouble because she doesn't have like a functioning brain system in her head. So she wakes up every morning and like the powers of her own stupidity. She hasn't like simped to Hasan. She hasn't gone to her Hasan shrine and sucked on the dildo that was made like as a shape of his cock and just sucked it. So she doesn't have like the minuscule brain effort to like go through the day. So she can't remember what happened yesterday. She just remembers sucking that dildo shrine, right? So for her to be able to remember what happened to her or happened in her entire childhood, that's fucking impossible because all that's up there is fucking air.
Recall memories, it's like 4 is the cutoff, but even if you are forming any memories at 4, you're not going to be able to remember them past like 15. You have maybe 1 or 2 memories.
She then reads the exact opposite on stream when she looks it up, but then chooses to repeat that she was right.
There's a wide variation across about the mean across methods cohorts. The average age of adults' earliest memories is 3.5 years old.
And you know what? The truth is, like, it can be, the average is 3.5, but it can go as low as 2.5.
You're not really forming memories at 3.
You literally just read out of your mouth that the average adult starts forming memories at 3.
Looks great.
God, these guys are so fucking. The same thing happened when like she like made a video talking about how this one chick, there wasn't any like actual accounts of like rape that happened on October 7th, and she like utilizes this clip where she talks about other girls having it, and then like cuts out the part where she talks about it happening to her. It's always so malicious, bro. It's so malicious, and they're fucking lying that I don't understand how anybody, like, they do it in like the span of like 2 seconds, so I don't understand how anybody can see this shit and be like, huh, they're speaking mad facts, based, my dude, totally based-deferred.
What is happening?
All of these people want to take your kids away because you don't co-sign everything they say. If you don't fall in line with your language, they will try to ruin you. Denims would go on to say that she doesn't condone people calling CPS, but she justified it. Even as she speaks, her chat is calling for CPS.
We're talking about CPS. 1, I don't condone. 2, I've never condoned it, and you will not be able to find a clip of me saying, yes, we should do this, because it doesn't exist. I've literally given Ethan Klein credit on multiple times or multiple instances, and I will do it again right now, for not showing photos of his kids.
I'm sure there's anti-Semitic people that are attacking you guys, but they're not me.
It's her. After seeing all of this, because Ian does know about it, he says Denims is his friend, but Ethan is a halfway friend for wanting him to speak up.
Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat it.
Because it's so funny, like, he wanted his friend to speak up for him, and his friend was like, no, fuck you, I'm gonna make this video with everybody that hates you.
We are friends with Denim. We think that she's a good person like we think Ethan and Neela are good people. Kind of a tricky situation. How can you possibly think that they're both good people at their core?
It's not tricky at all. She's acting like a demon.
People can have crash out moments. People can say things that they don't mean. People can say things...
She fucking doubled, tripled, quadrupled. She just kept doubling down on it. She fucking doubled down on Bad Empanada, and then tripled down on Bad Empanada and how Ethan and Neela were bad parents, and then like downplayed, and then doubled down on downplaying on the effects it had on their kids. She's a fucking cum goblin. She's a schmiggle biggle person, bro. She has no giggity schmoodle in her soul. Not even a little bit. Bro, you need that. You need a little bit of giggity schmoodle to be a decent human, and she's got none.
Because they want internet clout and attention. I don't know. I think they're both probably guilty of saying things that they don't mean for internet clout and attention. Right now, one's a little bit...
Bro, I know it's hard for you to understand, Idubbbz. This isn't like you saying the N-word every 2 seconds. It isn't. This isn't the same thing, bro. This is a little bit different, bro, because this affects actual fucking children. Something you don't get because your fucking life is getting fucked in the ass by Hasan while your wife watches.
Bit more fucking nasty to me than the other.
You've lost your mind.
I'm still not perfect. I think that is... you know, my empathy meter's only maybe like a quarter of the way filled up, potentially, but it's at least there. And I just want you guys to know that you can unlock ability empathy.
This is the empathy you've learned, empathizing with the people who want to take away his kids and kill his wife. But to Ian, both of these people are crashing out equally.
I actually have a lot of friendships that are kind of that way, where it's like, you know, one of the friends doesn't fuck with the other friend, but there is someone in the middle who kind of fucks with both of them, but separately. Yeah, there's a lot of friendships that are like that. I'm not gonna make you guys like meet up and kiss or anything.
This isn't just some petty beef where they just can't get along. If your friend is screwing up, you should be able to tell them. But Ian knows that. He just thinks Ethan's the one screwing up. It's genuinely evil that Ian doesn't disclose the extent of the harassment.
Dude, I'm so glad that Willie Mack did this and categorized everything. This isn't just like... So I've seen a lot of people make the video on this where they go after either Hasan or just Idubbbz. That's kind of how I've been doing it. The fact that it's taking every little direction and like putting it into context, I really like what he did here. I think this is way better than his Destiny video.
In this video, his audience has no idea because he
I disagree with the thing. I didn't ever like I think that the Destiny video lost plot a lot of times. That was my problem with his Destiny video, was it kept losing the plot and going all over the place. And I get that the Destiny allegations and stuff are messy, but dear God, bro, it was just so, like, it wasn't hard to comprehend because it's not like I'm fucking retarded. It was just one of those that it was like, okay, now we're talking about some dude that like fucking talked shit about you one time in a video. Okay, I get that it's... It is contextualized to the video itself, but Jesus. And like, I think that in the idea that Destiny video was called like Content Cop Destiny, that was my problem with it. Like, but as a video of itself, I still think he did a good job. I still think it's a good critical look at Destiny. But I just think that when Willie Mack does this format, he does a lot better job.
Admits it. Even in his follow-up content deputy, the extent of the harassment is never disclosed. Instead, he tries to find examples of Ethan being dishonest, and they're just wrong.
Ethan Klein uses this very deceptively edited video that is just like doing this smooth scroll to make it seem like that's all of Denims' chat. But that's not what it is. And then when he's called out on it, he hides it. He moves his window over the real chat.
Also, this is not a joking matter, by the way. It can be very severe and deadly to small children.
Dude, it is Denims chat. It's just a compilation of the messages. If Idubbbz just watches the original clip that Ethan is commenting on, you can find the same messages in the chat. The show is called Content Cop, but there is no investigation. Ian then just goes full mask off and says the CPS call was wholly justified.
To be honest, I'm very proud that I didn't immediately jump to...
Dude, it's so... Hey, this is so fun. Not that we're going to get to the CBS thing, but I do think it's so funny to point out the fact that he didn't do any investigation for this video. It was just so bad faith from the beginning to the end, to the fact that he just, like, completely, like, glosses over the fact that Ethan had corrected any type of mistake he might have made on that Denims clip, like, a few times after that. And his co-hosts correct that as it's going. But he doesn't put any of that in the video. He just leaves it as, oh, he's being misleading. It's like, fuck you, dude. Jesus, you fucking suck. If you would have done like a half-assed a little bit of research, you would have known that half of the shit you're saying is just absolutely unequivocally wrong, but you refused to do that because you had Hasan breathing over your fucking shoulder down your neck, and it was turning you on, so you were like, oh, I guess I just gotta make this video like Hasan would make it.
Ethan and Hila's defense, because when you look into the story, it actually looks a lot for Ethan and Hila. And I do mean that literally. There was this H3 stream where Ethan was dumping as per usual. He was talking about his own...
By the way, anytime he talks about emotional dumping ground in this fucking video, it pissed me off so much because that is all Idubbbz's entire podcast with his wife. What is it like? My wife pekes me in the ass 6 times a day or something. The podcast. It's just this like egregiously fucking depressing like emotional fucking dumping ground podcast. But Ethan can't talk about his personal life. I mean, that's like I agree that talking about your personal life too much on the internet, it can be a bad thing, but that shit just kind of slips out sometimes. It fucking happens. We're people. That's what we do. People show up because they want they want to hear us for us, and eventually we're going to talk about the shit that's happening in our real life. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Talking about his caca breath, his dog having diarrhea, his dog having giardia.
Olive has giardia. It's a bacterial infection in the intestines that makes you have diarrhea.
His child running around putting things in their mouth.
Which, by the way, every fucking child does always. There is not a baby in the world that doesn't try to go around the entirety of your house and try to eat fucking everything. That's just what they do. It's so dumb to think that they do anything else. If you don't have a child, you don't get it. Like, before I had a kid, I honestly would have been like, yeah, dude, who lets their kid just go around and like put things in their mouth? Dude, you sneeze, you blink, that motherfucking kid's gonna be like licking doors, bro. It's like insane.
Child running around putting things in their mouth.
Sonny's crawling around. He's putting everything in his mouth. He's at that age. He has giardia.
The whole family possibly having giardia.
Oh,
and now Hila has giardia.
Shut. For real?
And now I think this morning I had diarrhea.
Oh my god.
Mentioned diarrhea a lot.
Crazy diarrheas like in the middle of the night. All the time he's having these crazy diarrheas. You wash your hands as best you can, but these are really nasty diarrheas.
I guess this is all you need to justify calling CPS according to Ian.
So of course, Ethan, having made so many enemies over the years.
By the way, like, he actually clarifies this and says that he took his kid to a doctor, found out that he didn't have giardia. It was like a stomach bug or something. It wasn't even a big deal. But, like, I love the fact that he left that out of this entire fucking content deputy. He didn't put that in because that refutes his claims.
Other people react to his content. And when other people see that he's talking about his children getting giardia from dog poop, people are quite reasonably concerned. And so, yes, anyone who's seeing that content might be concerned enough to call CPS, including Ethan's own chat, which, by the way, is not a measly number. It's about 26,000 at the time of this stream.
What's more,
bro? The real thing about this, and what nobody's talking. Maybe Willie will talk about it. I don't want to slander the poor lad, but most people haven't talked about it. Is the fact that I think that he's just mauling over the fact that his podcast does shit ass numbers. On a good podcast episode, they get like 4,000 views, bro. I know I'm a small channel, so I don't get that kind of views, and it's like glass houses or whatever, but Dude is a multi-million sub channel, starts a podcast, an emotional dumping ground podcast, and nobody fucking watches.
Likely Ethan's chat laughing and goofing around, or Denims chat saying call CPS, and then CPS shows up 3 days later. It's obviously Denims. He's being dishonest. Ian also says that it's completely reasonable to call CPS over kids getting Giardia. It's not. You do one Google search, talk to any doctor, you'll find out that it's extremely common among children. The idea that parents can't tell a story about other kids got sick without having to worry about a CPS call is frankly insane. Ethan's kid didn't even—
Absolutely. This is just so fucking egregious. It's so fucking egregious. And the fun fact is, these kids didn't even get Giardia. But like the fact that it's like you talk about your kid getting sick and all that, that warrants it though. Well, let's just sweep for these fucking schizos real quick.
Even end up having Giardia, not that that matters. It's wild that Ian puts the blame on Ethan.
Why does it have to be anyone else's fault but your own? Take some fucking responsibility.
For what? Do you think he called CPS on himself? Is it his fault people want to murder his wife too? Yes, according to Ian.
They just implied that we are okay with people using CPS as harassment.
You literally just said you were okay with it.
And when other people see that he's talking about his children getting Giardia from dog poop, people are quite reasonably concerned.
Is Ian okay? Did a lizard person kill him and start wearing his skin? Bro,
no, dude, he was like this always. Like, this is a thing that a lot of people like are trying to pretend that like Idubbbz changed. The internet changed, and Idubbbz saw the waves. So did Ethan. Ethan saw the waves too, and they both became little virtue signaling scumbags. And then they disavowed all their old content. They're like, well, we disavowed it, so that means that we can pull the ladder up, and anybody else that's toxic on the platform, we think they should get banned. They're the bad guys. We're the good guys. And he just became virtue cop after that. He became a little virtue signaling cum goblin. And that was what he did to Froggy Fresh. That's what he's consistently done ever since. And that's why nobody fucking cares about him anymore. Because he's boring and cringe and fucking one of these whiny virtue signaling douchebags.
Put back on your glasses and uncross your eyes because you're not seeing straight. This guy got called a simp and a cuck, realized that people being mean to you on the internet wasn't fun, and then deleted all of his content cop videos because he found empathy. But this is the most soulless and cruel video he has ever uploaded. Even at the end of the video when he says he's crying for Ethan, he's really crying for himself.
You know, I also see the dynamic of Ethan and Neil. Like
Bro, I felt so bad for this motherfucker, even though he's kind of a douchebag for doing YouTuber apology ratings, and he's putting it under the guise of him being a psychologist. He's like, because I'm a psychologist, I rate a YouTube apologies. Like, it's just, like, I do kind of feel bad for this guy that fucking Idubbbz shows up at his house, tries to get him to change the apology, and then cries on his couch for like an hour. Could you imagine being in that awkward situation? Some motherfucker you don't even know, somebody you just know he's a famous YouTuber, don't really know what's going on, and this dude's just fucking having an emotional breakdown on your couch. You're like, what the fuck is going on, my brother?
really hard to be a couple online and see people attacking your partner, and it's like, okay, like if you come to their defense, that doesn't always help them.
Why would this guy get new?
Dude, yeah, I'm sorry. Just the fucking like bucktooth dude with like Idubbbz, thinking about Idubbbz and his gold fucking tooth, and then him just crying on the couch. He's like, I know I look like a gay pirate, guys. I know I look like somebody that Jack Sparrow would chuck off the ship, bro. But my wife and I get so much harassment, and yeah, Ethan exists.
Right, sometimes that makes it worse for them.
Okay, so now imagine it's not just him and his wife. It's his entire family, his employees, his pets. Use that empathy, buddy. I want to wrap up this segment on empathy by talking about some racist dog whistles. And I don't mean it in the same way Hasan means it, where he calls everything racist. Someone says they don't like using a bidet while vacationing in Japan. Racist.
Kind of fun in the beginning, and now it's just getting really, really annoying. I just kind of want to wipe my butt like a normal person. And
Wait, what? Why is he making it seem like you have to wash your ass? Bro. Here's how you want to know something about white supremacy? You want to know something about white
If you use toilet paper, you hate all other races other than white people. Everyone knows that because toilet paper's white, you're a white supremacist. Oh my god, you don't use a bidet? You're a fucking... Oh dude, you're gonna be going to some cross-burning soon. That's exactly what you're thinking. Get the fuck out of here, Hasan, you fucking weirdo.
Supremacy, you can go anywhere on the planet. If you're white and you criticize something, no one thinks you're a barbaric caveman. But because he's fucking white and he's in a non-white country, people still don't understand that that is literally a barbarian going, grug, That is internalized white supremacy inside of all of us.
Oh my god, dude, these motherfuckers that try to find white supremacy and everything are so fucking annoying. They're fucking losers. You got nothing else going on in your life, dude. What the fuck? You will open the sun, you're like, ah, dude, the fucking sunshine. Oh, I need to go back to my incel cave. White supremacy everywhere. White supremacy everywhere.
Where because the Western world, the Western ethnocentric, you know, Anglo-Saxon domination is so fucking pervasive that we look at that and our immediate reaction isn't like, oh, he's a barbarian.
Yo, this guy's retarded. Someone calls him stupid, racist dog.
Agreed. We got ourselves a wild retard, boys. Retard alert. Retard alert.
Whistle.
Hasan didn't mean to insult me. He simply reached the narrow limits of his understanding of the world. Dude, I literally, dude. I can't do this.
Bro's like, oh my god, he called me out. He said my narrow understanding of the world, which means he's a white supremacist. Hasan the retard.
The narrow limits. Yeah, dude. Just say I'm a Turk roach with a cockroach brain and move on, okay? Yeah, it. I'm saying it, dude, okay? This motherfucker not exactly out of the alt-right pipeline, okay?
Bro, I always hate this alt-right pipeline shit because there's an alt-left pipeline too. It's every alt-left pipeline leads directly to your dumbass.
Straight up, dude.
But Ian having the choice between 10 different swords in Hasan's house and landing on the swastika one, not a dog whistle.
God forbid you pick up a sword in here, okay?
I was thinking about doing some sort of ritual in here.
No more swords, okay?
I'm the one who thoughtlessly picked up the sword. We were grabbing a lot of props in Hasan's room, and there are a lot of props.
There's a lot of anti-Semitic props, and he just chose that anti-Semitic one as opposed to the other anti-Semitic ones.
There's only one prop in Hasan's house that has a swastika, and you just so happen to pick up
Bro
that.
doesn't even fucking watch Bleach, bro. That's the worst part about this shit. He didn't know what Bleach was. He didn't like know the main character of Bleach until until probably like at least 4 months ago. That was like what he was 4 months ago. He's still talking about how he didn't know what the fuck Bleach was and didn't watch it. But he has a fucking Bleach sword because he bought it because it has a swastika on it. He calls it the swastika sword. Like, without that context, this is a dumb fucking argument. With that context, Ethan makes some sense.
Now, I know this sword was from an anime, and people, including Ethan, were willing to give everybody the benefit of the doubt on this.
I don't want to talk about Hasan's sword. I don't want to talk about Hasan's sword hilt because Ethan himself basically admitted already multiple times he doesn't think any of us did that intentionally. And he would be right.
Do I think any of them actually like wanted to put a swastika in the photo? No,
Yeah,
no. I don't actually think that.
But what Ian purposely omits is later in that same podcast, Ethan discovers that Hasan knew nothing about the anime and refers to that sword as the swastika sword.
This one's sicker. Wait, that's a little sus.
That's questionable.
Yeah. Immediately goes for the swastika one. Got it.
It doesn't seem like a coincidence, but it gets better. A point of contention between Ethan and Hasan is that Hasan calls Jewish people inbred. Sometimes he specifies he only means settlers. Other times it seems like he's just throwing it out there.
I should go to the old city so I can...
He said it only gets better, but there's also a clip of Hasan talking about how he doesn't like know characters from Bleach when his chat asks him. He also says he doesn't watch Bleach. So like, get the fuck out of here. Dude didn't even like... You didn't even understand what he was fucking buying. He just had it because it kind of looked like a swastika sword. He thought it was funny. And if they would have just said that and then not put it in the video, it's like different. Like, and again, I don't give a shit like if you own something like that and you're like, look at this edgy fucking thing I have, but don't pretend it's not what it is, bro.
I can get my fucking shit pushed in.
Producers, this plugin.
Like, it's just the dude's so egregious. I really don't understand how somebody could like enjoy this guy and like sit down and listen to him fucking lie 24/7 and be like, yeah, he's my fucking guy. Because like I just like when I went through and had my political rundown where I was listening to a bunch of different political heads, I just kept running into the same thing with everybody I tried, where they would instantly become fucking massive fucking hypocrites. They would change their entire fucking viewpoints on a dime to fit a narrative, and I'm like, bro, dude, can you not keep things cash money a little bit? And that's what all these motherfuckers are, because they're half audience captured, half part of an agenda.
By some of the most inbred fundamentalist hicks.
When Hasan is debating Ethan and they're talking about this, what does Anissa tweet out? Inbred. It's very intentional. It's meant to make Ethan feel paranoid about anti-Semitism being normalized online. It clearly is among all of these people.
This looks like a swastika.
Yeah, totally.
Or do you think that now that it's been pointed out that he should remove the photo at least? Take it down?
No. Why would he take it down? That'd be crazy.
It's always policing content. Okay.
By the way, I don't think you should take it down. I think they should just be honest with it. They were like, it was a satirical moment where we were making fun of the fact that Ethan sees anti-Semitism everywhere. So we took a sword from an anime that we knew that he was going to point out as anti-Semitism. That was the point. That's what we were doing. And they could have gotten away with it. And their chat probably still would have fucking loved them because they're fucking weird-ass Jim Jones cultists.
Yeah. Yeah. Policing content.
Where else have I heard that phrase?
Didn't you participate in a series called Content Pop?
I was just thinking
You want
the
to
same
talk to me about policing content? You f***ing dipshit, dude.
So what did we learn about empathy? Empathy is when you sympathize with people who falsely try to break up families because they hear someone got sick, siding with people making death threats and preying on people's seemingly real fears of anti-Semitism being normalized. Empathy is when you don't honestly represent the other person's arguments and you just lie by omission to all of your viewers. For as much as Ian claims to have grown as a person, he has never lied like this before. The content cop Ian regrets most is on Tana Mojo, and after Ian apologized to her, she says she didn't deserve it.
But I'm more so just talking about like his actions to me, like, you know, him showing up to my show, him kind of putting me on blast, him inevitably making me kind of canceled and lose subscribers and have to apologize and all that type of stuff. I kind of think I like deserved that. And maybe that's like dark, like to say, but like I don't feel like I'm owed an apology. I think I would be a completely different person if I didn't have that. I think it like I was on track to just be so on my high horse and like egotistical.
Oh my god, dude. You know what's so funny about this? She was what Idubbbz became, bro. Holy shit.
And like nothing could go wrong, that something going wrong gave me such a dose of reality that like this might not last forever. Like, yeah, you need to be held accountable for actions.
This is real growth. This is maturity. What you are as a small person, you
bro was regressing while she fucking grew up.
Don't have confidence in making their content anymore, so you cling on to these vampires while projecting your own insecurities onto Ethan.
It's so hard for me on my podcast to like loosen up. It's incredibly hard. I talked about it in my apology. Like, I am so insecure about my ability to entertain. I think he feels the same, to be honest. I don't think he said as much.
Dude, this is classic projection. Ian cannot fucking manage to come up with a joke now, so he thinks that Ethan is too insecure to make jokes anymore. This is projection.
You know what's so funny too? He's like, I don't know much about Papa Gut, but this is like 100% accurate because like even when he was on like Hasan's stream, Hasan made some jokes about like anti-Semitic dance, and Idubbbz like, no, I'm too scared to say anything. I can't be an edgy boy. I'm my image though.
Like 101 over here. What are you talking about?
Come on, dude. You're one step away from calling me a cuck. Just take the plunge.
You're a cuck. But even worse, you're mentally...
He is a cuck, bro.
Cucked. You're sitting on Hasan's stream in the cuck chair as he shits all over drama streamers, slowly realizing that you fit the description.
That's part of the reason why
this is the greatest fucking thing to come out of all of this drama, was just watching Idubbbz look so depressed while Hasan fucking mauled it.
Don't fight back against a lot of these people that are fueling these hate raids and brigades is because
bro, and it's so weird how many fucking pictures Hasan has of himself in his house.
Oh, I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing.
That's misreporting the news and lying.
And eventually all of that is gonna be background noise, and those people, they have a shelf life. They have a shelf life because they don't have the same stubborn nature that I do. They don't have the same interests as I do. They inevitably become their own worst enemies. They inevitably cook themselves. You might think you're riding high on the slop, for a little bit. You might think
Riding high on the slop, dude is a slop creator as well, dude. I'm a slop creator. Nicholas Dior is a slop creator. Fucking Nuxenor, Asmongold, Denims, all of these motherfuckers, we're all slop creators. Just fucking stop pretending like we're anything else. Stop acting like you're on a fucking high horse, bro. Idubbbz can't even fucking hit the slop mark anymore, bro. He just like cries. He just sits there while everybody else does work around, does like a minuscule slop work around him, while he just fucking like slowly like leaves in obscurity.
you're getting showered with praise. An army of anonymous Redditors telling you you're brilliant. But at the end of the night, when you go home and you sit down and you look yourself in the mirror.
Dude looks so uncomfortable, bro. Dude looks so fucking uncomfortable and sad in the chair, bro. Bro's in the cup chair, just... Gotta be serious, guys. This isn't, my career's not imploding.
You're not going to recognize who you've become. Last time.
Bro, everybody in their life has been in that moment when they hear somebody talking, they're like, fuck, that sounds like it's about me, and they're like, no, it's not about you, it's about somebody else, and you're like, fuck, we're the same. We're the fucking same, bro. Oh, it's so great. This is brilliant, bro. This is so brilliant. Well, and the funny thing about this speech, too, is this is Hasan projecting as well. It was 100% Hasan projecting, but being too oblivious to realize it himself. Ian at least has enough fucking self-awareness to know that it's hitting home. He's just never going to say anything, or Anissa will stop pegging him in the asshole.
Into a lolcow of a different variety. That's what I think.
That's so mean.
It's mean because it's you.
Bro, the fucking creator clash thing, it sucks, dude, because I know a lot of people were like really excited to do this. I mean, I even had LABs show up in my chat to talk about how it sucks the position that Creator Clash 3 is in, because I know like LABs was like training really hard for it. A lot of people were really working hard for this, but Idubbbz' fucking assholeness, just like the last Creator Clash with Froggy Fresh, he got in his own way again. He got in his own way again and then blamed it on everybody else. Like the whole accountability thing he was trying to throw at Ethan is just him projecting. I've never seen so much projecting in my fucking life other than these retards.
Ian's empathy tour ends with him blindsided.
And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of projection coming from Ethan as well. It's just he's had the most like insane hate heading his way that he has like a leg to stand on. Now he's lost the other leg. He's still a fucking virtue signaling weird little douchebag, but at least he's got one leg to stand on.
All of his fighters after tainting it with this drama. According to Harley, the main event fighter for Creator Clash 1, 2, and 3, H3's audience was a big percentage of the ticket sales and promotion for the event.
H3 sold the most tickets to Creator Clash 1 and 2, I believe. I think they did a lot of ticketing.
Wait. Is that true?
I would think that, wouldn't you? Like, what else? What other entity promoted Creator Clash?
Well, I think that personally, but I'm not the current headliner for the third card, so they want to hear it from you, not me.
The H3 podcast promoted Creator
Clash. He also clarified. I want to be able to like cash money here to add some context. He said that it was a large portion, but it wasn't like Ethan described it as being in like an H3 meetup. I do think that's a good clarification to make.
1 and 2 more than anyone. So of course Ian makes a video on Ethan alienating that whole audience, but also making the war in the Middle East a fundamental talking point of the event.
I don't know about the other fighters, but just for me, like, I'm just kind of like, oh, cool, the fun little charity fundraiser has now been attached to a decades-long bloody holy war in the Middle East. It's whatever. Cool. You know, it's not really like the fun sentiment I had. They did a temperature check on my team. They called my team, and they were like, how do you guys doing? How do you feel about everything? And, you know, they spoke to my guy, and he was like, not that good. Not that cool of a thing. And then they hit me up, and I was like, well, how does everyone else feel about it? And they were like, everyone loves it. Everyone's fine. Everyone's great. Your team's a little wonky about it, but everyone's good.
Oh, God.
And I was like, well, I guess, yeah. I mean, I think I'm the only Jewish person on the card.
They They alienated the only Jewish guy on the card in his team, like, right away. And he was being like I think that some shit happened behind the scenes that he hasn't talked about yet. I think there's some stuff that Harley's keeping close to his chest on this shit. But there's got to be a reason that the morning, like, that morning he talks about, like, where he's staying and training. And then, like, an hour later, he's off the card.
And I know it's not, like, the content cop, I know was supposed to be about, like, Ethan's behavior.
Yeah, then it turned into content cop Israel.
Yeah.
And the content deputy, Idubbbz and Anissa would claim that they are no longer affiliated with Creator Clash and that they informed the fighters.
Anissa and I have decided to step away from Creator Clash. We have relinquished control to our business partners who ran the previous 2 events.
Incredible editing, by the way. I mean, just top tier editing. I mean, I've never seen anything that's been as credible as a fucking stock image thrown over my face of a dog.
They're very capable. They know exactly what they're doing. They run events on a regular basis. The event is still happening. Anissa and I just don't have any financial ties. We don't have any ownership. We've already told all the fighters, and it seems like most people understand that this is the best move.
From everything I've seen, it seems like the fighters don't really know what's going on. But don't worry, Hasan is going to give the reason for why the headliner of the event dropped out. And by that I mean make it up on the spot.
Him and Anissa basically relinquished control over Creator Clash 3, a boxing charity match that they had put together.
You heard it here first, folks. We got crack built Ed Kemper. Now, I'm not saying that Hasan's on crack. I'm saying that if Ed Kemper did a bunch of crack, he would look exactly like Hasan.
3rd year in a row after Ethan got Lena to drop out, and also another fighter, Harley, also dropped out because he was upset and offended that Ian and Idubbbz had dared to criticize Ethan.
Harley writes he's lying or someone lied to him. That's not why I backed out of the event. We just saw Harley.
Dude, I'm so curious why he dropped out. Like, it must have just been the stress, the fact that people were getting paid more than him when it was absolutely against his contract. I feel like there was a lot of moving parts in that.
Nick, that he was all for the content cop being made on Ethan as long as it was about his content. You know what Harley didn't seem to like, though? The dog whistle that was the swastika sword.
They're your swords, and according to the New York Times article, there was 10 options. So what's the chances that they chose the swastika one? That seems pretty slim.
Well,
you have 10 swords, don't you?
The week prior to that, I believe. I don't know the exact timeline. I don't really remember when they shot this, but I had the sword out because I was doing an assassin.
And let's remember, folks, the fact that he doesn't know how to keep a timeline straight for the fucking life of him. He can't figure it out because he did just get called out for the fact that his timeline on him being detained by ICE was complete bullshit. I mean, everything Hasan says, he's been proven to lie so much that you have to take every fucking word. He can say the day it's a clear day outside, and it's gonna be fucking raining, dude. There's a good chance it's fucking raining. I would believe if Hasan said it's clear weather outside, and the weather said that it was like a weather station told me it was raining, I would have already known it's raining because Hasan said it was fucking clear outside. Like, I would know the opposite of Hasan is more correct than the Weather Channel.
Assassin's Creed promo. Do you feel like if I thought it was like genuinely a swastika sword, I would use it in an Assassin's Creed promo shot?
Yes. That's what we call a dog whistle, Hasan.
I'm just looking for clarification here. Do you think that I deliberately was using a dog whistle?
Absolutely. 100%. Now, I don't know you did. I won't go as far to say that you did it for the Assassin's Creed promo. There's a chance that you just picked it up because you're a little bussy boy, that all the other swords were too heavy, so you had it for the Assassin's Creed promo. But the fact that you guys utilized it for your content cop Israel, it's a fucking dog whistle. Get the fuck out of here.
In an Assassin's Creed promo, or that it was a cool sword that was laying around because it's the only long sword that I have.
You have 10 swords.
Like, that's a ridiculous amount of swords to choose the one with the hilt that looks like a fucking swastika. Like, I know that this is a bullshit fucking, like, a side quest shit that shouldn't matter that much, but it just, like, what I think this proves is the fact that these motherfuckers are willing to lie and, omit as much as they can to try to make themselves look virtuous in the situation, and they found out it was it ended up being called out optically. They thought it would just be caught by their audience, and the rest of the world caught it, and then they can run and play the victims that, oh, you just care that it's a swastika sword. How stupid is that? I don't know, this is fucking retarded. This whole thing was like baited to try to make Ethan look crazy.
See, guys, the other swords were too heavy, as if a sword isn't meant to be held. What's very odd to me is how proud Ian and Anissa were for taking their own event and making fighters drop out, and then dropping out themselves when things got hard, screwing everybody who's still involved. They're seemingly very proud of it. Anissa tweeted, "Hey, BB girl, I know you're so desperate for any crumbs from me, so here's a big piece of f you. We are not financially tied to this event, and even if we were, we had it situated to protect us and the charity. You have no power over us. You're just an asshole." The remaining business partners have seemingly tried to get Harley back on the card.
Kind of was very easy for me to separate. And then when, you know, it was like Ian and Anissa are stepping down. You want to come back? I was like, that was never a problem for me.
Wow, wait a minute. So wait, they dropped down and then they tried to bring you back to the table?
What do you know? You didn't know that?
When the event fails, and it seems like it's going to, Ian has already planted the seeds to blame Ethan.
Can't wait for them to blame us for their failed event. Don't worry, Hila. I'm not gonna blame you.
Dude, this is all your fault. This is 100% your fault. If you wanted to cut ties with the event, you should have done it before you dropped the content cop. If that was the plan. You literally have put yourself in this position. This is the consequences of your own fucking actions.
Guys, for anything Creator Clash related, I know you're terrified of taking accountability for anything, so that will rest.
Bro, again, dude, this drama has the most projection I've ever seen in my entire life.
On my shoulders.
It actually does, though. Why is he being sarcastic?
But I can't speak for the internet. The internet might actually blame you guys for it.
How stupid does he think we are? His own fighters aren't fooled by this.
Ian and Ethan are now doing this YouTube battle against each other, going through this drama war. Creator Clash is receiving a lot of collateral damage.
See, it's so funny. Everyone's saying like, "Oh, I hate H3." How H3 actually got Creator Clash to get some negative air. They see, this is the thing. Idubbbz made a video about them.
Yeah.
He, the founder of Creator Clash, made a video about these other people who were creating drama.
Yeah, dude, this is 100% on Idubbbz. There is no one else to blame. Bro said we're going to stay out of the drama, and then a few days later fucking dropped, or not a few days, a few weeks later drops a fucking content cop on his ass. This is 100% was like the dumbest decision he could possibly make for his event that's coming up soon.
You know, so I'm saying, like, this is like this thing
and
where...
it's like, I'm not going to tell Ian what to do. It's not my place to be like, Ian, maybe you shouldn't, like, do that. Because the rest of us might kind of catch some strays from it.
Yeah, exactly.
But at the same time, it's like... it feels like Ian and I were friends walking down a sidewalk, and he gets stung by a wasp. And he's like, oh, and he looks up, and there's a wasp nest there. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's a wasp nest. And he pulls out a bat, and he runs up and hits that wasp nest and comes back. He's like, ha, I showed that wasp nest. And I'm like, uh-oh. And all the wasps come flying out, and they start stinging us, both of us. Mostly him, because he was the... But I'm like sitting, I'm getting stung. I'm like, what the heck? I didn't come on this walk to get stung by wasps. Why'd you go hit the wasp nest? Yeah. And he's like, all right, the only thing to do here to protect you is to run away. And so he runs away, and now I'm like, I'm just... Okay, I guess they're following him, but I'm still kind of getting stung here. Not really what I signed up for.
The content cops have this patronizing language of take accountability and be an adult, yet Ian's the one who needs to grow up. You're dressed like a skinhead, missing a tooth, and hanging out with the most deplorable and dishonest people online. Just in my last video, Denims was lying about being a victim of destiny to try
this was something that was like a funny thing that happened in that last video, his last video on this whole situation, was the fact that Denims shoved herself in the middle of the Destiny drama because... Why the fuck not? Because they can't stop fucking spurging off against each other. And come to find out, she was the one in the fucking wrong in her bullshit. She painted herself out to be this victim that the reason Destiny didn't like her is because she wouldn't sleep with him, when the whole drama was over the fact that she was fucking some dude on his couch when he offered to let her stay there if she didn't have anywhere to go. not to fuck some dude on their couch. That was the whole thing. Like, it's just so malicious. Anytime these motherfuckers talk, it's be lies.
It's some free clout. But all the recording showed was her admitting to staying in Destiny's apartment and having sex with the dude for 2 days without Destiny's permission or knowledge.
I don't know how you feel 100% because you don't talk about any of this stuff, which is fine. So like, if you're like in an awkward situation, right? I'm trying to be a good guy and give you a way out. Like, hey, well, my apartment is open if you want to go in. So that gives you the ability to either say like, oh no, it's okay, I'll go with, or okay, thanks for offering, I'll go to your apartment. That wasn't like bring into my apartment for him to have free reign in here for a day. Holy shit. That is so weird. Why? Why would you put me in this weird spot where I have to come home and see an incredibly creepy guy that is such a weird position in my community that's been trying to get me to stop talking to my ex-girlfriend because he's trying so hard to her, is now somebody else in my bed, dragging his hairy balls across my blankets, okay? Oh my god. And so we leave for an hour. He's like, holy shit, that's weird. So we leave for an hour and come back and you're both still there. Oh god.
Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. We are friends with Denims.
You're friends with someone who's trying to throw themselves in as a revenge porn victim for clout. And I don't even want to get into Frogan.
The best thing that you can do, for me, is to support Creator Clash. Buy a ticket, buy a pay-per-view ticket, an in-person ticket.
Bro, by this point, everybody had already, like, written Idubbbz as, like, the fucking villain in this, and this was such a fucking L. He should have done this in the first video at the beginning. Said, the waters are going to get very muddy when on this content cup, when I talk about Ethan. I want you to know that I am cutting ties with Creator Clash, because I do not want them to catch flack for what I am doing. I would love you guys to support it. There's a lot of great people working on it. I don't want to put them in a weird position, so I am walking away from the event and letting the event holders run it. Here is the tickets. Go buy them, go support them. Just know that this has nothing to do with them. That's the like mature and responsible thing to do. But this little cum goblin went about it the whole bass ass. He fucking did it like a cum goblin. He went back asswards and fucking did this shit all wrong.
Or donate to the fundraiser. I just want to see this event do well.
The arena is still completely empty. There's entire sections of the floor seats that haven't sold anything. He had 9 million views in promotion for this event and it's failed horribly. None of these comments are actually talking about it. They aren't even talking about the content of the video. Everyone's just memeing. Idubbbz leaves out so much context. The complaints he has about Ethan aren't even significant to the audience. It's amazing. Idubbbz is so selfish he couldn't even remain the sole cuck. He decided to cuck his whole charity event. He's like, nah, I'm not participating. I prefer
Dude, he did the same thing with Creator Clash 2. That's what we're forgetting. He made it all about the Froggy Fresh drama. That was the only time I had heard about. So Creator Clash 1, I remember hearing a ton of buzz about it. When the fight happened, everybody was talking about it on the internet. It was a huge deal. Then when Creator Clash 2 is coming, I didn't hear about it at all. I didn't even know they were doing another one. And then I saw this Froggy Fresh drama. And that drama was the only reason why I knew about this bullshit, because Idubbbz was being a little bitch. And then he did his apology video. And it was just like, everybody just had this weird vibe about Creator Clash 2, and it fucking flopped.
Watch the whole fest burn down.
And in closing, I will reiterate so that, you know, there's no ambiguity about it. Anissa and I are no longer involved in Creator Clash. We're stepping down completely. We hope that the event is a massive success this year. We hope that all the fighters get what they wanted out of it.
They won't now. Moral of the story, you can cuck yourself. You might even be able to cuck your wife. But if you cuck a charity event full of people who've been preparing for it over the last year, just a couple of months before it goes live, you can call that empathy. But I might call you an asshole. I have a lot more to say about Hasan, Frogan, and Anissa, and the serial docs are known as Bad Empanada. Hasan's lying, acting like he's on the verge of being deported because he's a liberal, when in reality it was a standard randomized check that lasted like 50 minutes.
Dude, this is so fun. Like, I can't wait for him to do a whole breakdown on this. I will be there because, like, his Hasan videos, I remember, like, when they first came out, like, last year or something, were what really put me, like, I already didn't like Hasan, but it was like the first videos I watched, they like categorically destroyed the man. And I was like, yes, dude, because I'd been seeing this shit forever, and I was like, I was thinking about switching my content over to commentary, and I still don't want to do a full switch. I still want to like keep my channel kind of set as it is, where I do game reviews once a week, I do like some anime content, I do some like some commentary as well. I like keeping myself mobile, but I did start jumping into the shit because I like there was a bunch of people that had like disappeared from the scene. I felt like there was a hole in the void, and I like filling myself some holes, whether it be butts or vaginas. I'm in it, baby.
Can't let them get away with that. So subscribe to the channel, and thank you, Aura, for sponsoring this video. And shout out to the homies over on Patreon.
By the way, this is a great video. This was an absolute banger. No critiques this time. Every time I get done with the Willie Mack show, I usually find some critiques. This was a fucking banger. I think he did a pretty good job. I mean, this drama was so big that he was like inevitably going to miss some stuff and leave some stuff out. And I mean, I've covered like every fucking thing I possibly can about this drama because it's the only fucking thing going on in the drama sphere right now. And I think that, like, for the most part, he did a really, really good job of breaking that all down. Big ups, Willie Mack show. But that's all I got on that one, guys. Moral of the story is Idubbbz is a cuck, Hasan is a grifter, Denims is a dipshit, and everybody else just kind of falls in the same thing. Oh, and Bad Nada, absolute psychopath. Like and subscribe, my boys, and I'll catch you on the next one.